Hello everyone! Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to explore some of the most famous architectural styles in history. Architecture is more than just buildings. It tells the story of different civilizations, cultures, and time periods. In this video series, we'll look at different architectural styles and learn how to recognize them just by looking at the exterior of a building. We'll talk about their history, important design elements, and what makes each style unique. Let's start with one of the most dramatic styles in history. Gothic architecture began in Europe during the 12th century and was mainly used for churches and cathedrals. This style was designed to make buildings feel tall, spiritual, and full of light. Key exterior elements: pointed arches, tall spires, flying buttresses, large stained glass windows, and highly detailed stone carvings. Flying buttresses are external supports that help hold up very tall walls. Because of this engineering technique, Gothic buildings could have huge windows and very high ceilings. Some famous Gothic buildings include Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris and Cologne Cathedral in Germany. Greek architecture dates back to around 800 BC in ancient Greece. It is known for its balance, symmetry, and beautiful columns. Many government buildings around the world still use Greek design elements today. Key exterior elements: large stone columns, triangular pediments, symmetrical layouts, stone construction. There are three famous types of Greek columns: Doric, simple and strong; Ionic, columns with spiral tops; Corinthian, very decorative capitals. Greek temples were designed to represent harmony and mathematical perfection. Roman architecture. Roman architecture developed after the Greeks and expanded between 200 BC and 400 AD. The Romans borrowed ideas from Greek architecture but improved them with new engineering techniques. Key exterior elements: rounded arches, large domes, vaulted ceilings, concrete construction, massive monumental structures. Romans were masters of engineering. They built huge structures like aqueducts, amphitheaters, and temples. One of the best examples is the Pantheon, famous for its massive concrete dome. Baroque architecture started in Italy during the 1600s and quickly spread across Europe. This style is known for being dramatic, grand, and highly decorative. Key exterior elements: curved shapes, large domes, ornate sculptures, decorative facades, grand staircases. Baroque buildings were designed to impress people and show the power of churches and monarchies. Many palaces and churches use this style. Art Deco architecture. Art Deco became popular in the 1920s and 1930s. It represents the excitement of the modern industrial age. Key exterior elements: geometric shapes, vertical lines, decorative metal details, sunburst patterns, stepped building forms. Art Deco buildings often look sleek and futuristic. Famous examples include skyscrapers from the early 20th century. Brutalist architecture. Brutalist architecture became popular between the 1950s and 1970s. The name comes from the French term béton brut, which means raw concrete. Key exterior elements: exposed concrete, blocky geometric shapes, heavy and massive structures, minimal decoration. Brutalist buildings focus on function and honesty in materials. Even though some people find them harsh, many architects admire their bold style. Colonial architecture. Colonial architecture developed during the time when European countries established colonies around the world. It mixes European design with local materials and climate needs. Key exterior elements: symmetrical facades, simple rectangular shapes, shutters on windows, porches or verandas, gabled roofs. Different regions develop their own versions, such as Spanish colonial, British colonial, and Dutch colonial. Contemporary architecture. Contemporary architecture refers to buildings designed in the present day. It constantly evolves with new technologies and ideas. Key exterior elements: large glass walls, open structures, minimalist design, sustainable materials, unique shapes. Many contemporary buildings focus on energy efficiency and environmental design. Deconstructivist architecture. Deconstructivist architecture became popular in the late 20th century. This style breaks traditional design rules. Key exterior elements: fragmented forms, unusual angles, non-symmetrical shapes, complex structures. Buildings in this style often look dynamic and unpredictable, almost like pieces that have been pulled apart and reassembled. Mid-century modern architecture developed between the 1940s and 1960s. It focuses on simplicity and connection with nature. Key exterior elements: flat roofs, large glass windows, clean horizontal lines, open floor plans. Integration with landscape. This style became very popular for residential homes. Modern architecture emerged in the early 20th century. It rejected traditional decoration and focused on function and simplicity. Key exterior elements: flat roofs, glass curtain walls, minimal ornamentation, simple geometric shapes. The idea behind modern architecture is form follows function. Neoclassical architecture began in the 18th century. It was inspired by the architecture of ancient Greece and Rome. Key exterior elements: large columns, symmetrical facades, triangular pediments, grand entrances. Many government buildings and museums use this style because it represents order and authority. Tudor architecture. Tudor architecture originated in England during the late 15th century. It later became popular for houses in many countries. Key exterior elements: steeply pitched roofs, half-timber framing, tall narrow windows, brick and stone walls, decorative chimneys. Tudor homes often look historic and storybook-like. Vernacular architecture refers to buildings designed using local materials and traditional methods. These buildings are created to match the local climate, culture, and available resources. Key exterior elements: natural local materials, climate-adapted designs, simple construction methods. Examples include mud houses, bamboo structures, and stone cottages. Victorian architecture. Victorian architecture became popular during the reign of Queen Victoria in the 19th century. It is known for being highly decorative and detailed. Key exterior elements: ornate trim and moldings, bay windows, steep roofs, decorative towers, colorful facades. Victorian houses often look very elegant and visually rich. And that was a quick guide to 15 major architectural styles and their exterior features. Now, the next time you see a building, you might be able to recognize its style just by looking at its design elements. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about architecture and design, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.